Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to a video on YouTube, a very popular movement guide for Warzone. It's called I Went From Bot to Pro Movement in Warzone. Here's how. This is a video from Dreamstrike. Of course, I'll leave it linked in the description down below. But yeah, I want to react to it, stop it here and there, give my thoughts on it, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Ignore the avatar on the right here. That's just so I don't get copyright claims or whatever. I don't want to like fully, take someone's video or anything like that. This is going to be kind of not a breakdown, but I just want to like say if I agree or disagree with anything he says and kind of pinpoint what's works like based on my experience and how this can potentially help you get better at Warzone. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you just completely hate this and don't want to see this ever again on my channel, let me know that in the comment section as well. But with all that being said, let's get started.
What do all sweaty players have in common? Advanced movement. Turn on any pro Warzone player's stream and you will see enough slide cancels and bunny hops to make your head spin. And it's not just because they're trying to look cool. Advanced movement gives you peeker's advantage in gunfights and can make you extremely hard to track in close quarter fights.
Yeah, I want to stop here. This is definitely true. A lot of people will immediately just say like, basically what he says, like movement just makes you look cool or whatever. There's obviously peeker's advantage. Obviously, it makes you difficult to track. Like these are things that, at least in my opinion, they're pretty obvious, right? They're supposed to be like you do these things for a reason. At least for me, I'm someone who like when I play a game or something like that, I'm doing something for a reason. Whether it's it could be a dumb reason, but it's still a reason. I'm not just doing something just to look cool or something. Like that's just my opinion, and I just wanted to point that out because a lot of people think that movement doesn't matter, but he's going to explain that it does. So let's keep going.
But it's not as easy as the pros make it look to combine these moves to break your opponent's ankles.
I mean, in this case, like, he got stunned. It's not like he did anything super wrong. Honestly, like, watching these clips, like, it looks a lot like how I play sometimes.
Yeah. Learning how to consistently outmaneuver my opponents was something that I struggled with for months.
For sure.
What you won't see watching the pros is that you're very likely to get absolutely smoked when you first start using advanced movement because the margin for error is extremely small.
Let me just pause real quick. The editing in this video is like actually amazing also. Like as a YouTuber, like this is like what you like dream of making, especially for like a Call of Duty video. But yeah, so far he's 100% right.
If you use these movements in the wrong situation or press an incorrect button during a gunfight,
2-on-1,
you'll more than likely you'd be begging your teammates to hit the nearest buy station for a quick regain. Now, on the other hand, if you don't use these movements at all, you're putting yourself at an extreme disadvantage against good players, and you're going to get cameraed enough to start your own Instagram page. It's a tough spot to be in, and I know that some of you are stuck where I was. So today,
a lot of people will say in this kill he didn't need to do all that, but like you never know, right? Like maybe he didn't, but at the end of the day he got the kill by doing it. So what is there to like argue with that? Like I'm just saying. All right.
I wanted to share with you 4 key insights that I learned the hard way that'll help you take these individual movement skills and combine them to start creating
cancel,
high
drop shot, bunny hop, and snaking. All right. I think most people know all of them except snaking. I think that might be the least known, but the rest most people would probably. That's just good targeting right there. That was pretty nuts.
Well, to explain how I got here, let me take you back to when I got
Not gonna
serious
lie, that
about
was pretty
improving
nuts.
my movement.
I like this video because like he goes back to like, look at this gameplay here.
Maybe a little bit further, right here.
Oh wow, even further.
This clip's pretty old, so let me clean
Look at the FOV. He's playing on console.
This was my
Oh my
movement.
god, this FOV, Jesus.
I would say it looks pretty
This
different.
hurts.
And before I get roasted in the comments, yes, I was on console at this point, and I know
Yep,
that 80
there it is.
FOV makes you look slower, but you can still have cracked movement on a lower FOV, which I'm demonstrating here.
You can, but it's nowhere near the same.
Now,
If you want to have
back
cracked
the original
movement,
clip I was just showing
definitely
you,
need a PC.
About a minute later, you can see what happens.
That C4 though. That's
Yeah,
just
I
kind
think
of bad
it's fair to
aim.
say my movement needed some work. Also,
Like the movement wasn't great there, but it wasn't the reason he lost. He lost that because of bad aim. That was very not good aim.
so does anyone else miss how far you used to be able to throw C4?
Oh yeah,
Those were the
100%.
days. Anyways, it was around this time in the middle of 2020 that I
This old
discovered
computer.
someone streaming on Twitch who would make me rethink how I wanted to play the game. Way before the explosion of Movement Kings on Rebirth Island, there was one streamer who stood out from the rest with his explosive movement on Verdansk.
You know who it is.
I'm talking about the original Movement King, Jowo.
He really was the original, too. His editing's insane. He had to find each of these Jowo clips, put it together.
Thinking his movement was absolutely insane the first time I saw him play. He played
And Jowo
super
plays on
aggressive
controller,
and
too.
consistently put his opponents in skates. Even if he had some self-proclaimed issues finding the one, no one could deny that his movement
Some
was
sus tweets.
I knew immediately that I wanted to play like that. So naturally, I practiced my slide cancels and bunny hops, and I started to run around the map and play more aggressive.
Oh my god, the FOV. It's pain.
And man, did I get smoked. What I failed to realize at first is that advanced movement is pointless without gun skill.
Yep, I want to stop right here. 100% right. No lies detected, right? Like, he's 100% right. This is the big thing. A lot of people try to be cracked, and they just either don't know how to, move with the gun skill, like move with aiming well, or they can aim well, but they can't move while aiming well. Like, you have to put it together.
You have to practice both.
Yep,
My
that's what he
slide
says.
cancels were fine getting around the map, but as soon as I got into a gunfight, the movement completely messed up my centering and caused me to miss way too many shots.
Yeah.
And I figured this out pretty quickly after rewatching some of my gunfights, so I started practicing my movement while shooting at targets. And this is when I started to see massive
Nice clip.
improvements.
Like, honestly, like movement around the map is one
My
thing, but
KD
movement
started consistently
while
go up,
shooting is
move
another
outs
thing.
became easier, and I was dropping more kills in each game. I even invested in a PC to get every advantage.
There you
out
go.
of it.
That's the
And after a
move.
few months of work, my movement and gun skill felt really consistent.
Oh, the FFAR meta. Good times.
Everything was going so well until...
Hello, baby.
It was
SPMM.
like a switch had flipped. I went from being one of the
Yeah.
better players on the map to
That'll
losing
do it
way
to you.
more gunfights, even with the movement that I had learned.
It's crazy that people don't believe it's in the game, too. Like,
I was even
still.
getting sent to Gulag by players using hardly any movement at all. I mean, how did... okay? Now, don't get me wrong. I have nothing against skill-based matchmaking. But since Warzone doesn't have a ranked mode, it wasn't apparent to me at first that I was now always playing against way better players.
True.
It was frustrating.
You wouldn't think so, because there's no
But
rank mode.
After a lot of struggle, I finally realized
This
that the
emote.
advanced movement that was working against the lower skill players
Is
was
this an
something that was
XM4?
not going to work in the higher skilled
Oh,
levels.
it's Warzone.
Unfortunately, one day on stream, I heard the advice that I needed.
So that means you gotta train your brain to not be dumb and overchow, knowing you have no escape. If that makes sense, kind of?
Another way to say this is I needed to stop overcommitting to gunfights. But it's
True.
hard because the internet will tell you that slide canceling around every corner breaks cameras and gives you peeker's advantage, which is all true.
Yeah, this is very true. A lot of people, especially in like Rebirth or Warzone, they will fight every single time. You don't need to, like it's better to live another day to get more kills, or to basically just to keep up, just survive, better than just to fight a fight just for the sake of it. Like people ego chow way too much in Warzone, especially Rebirth, especially on my team, honestly. If any teammates are watching this, I'm talking about you.
But it doesn't mean that you're going
Let's
to
keep
win
going.
every gunfight. Because what's also true is that this game has a low time to kill and guns with almost no recoil.
Yeah,
so any
there's no
decent
recoil in
player
this
on
game.
the map can gun you if you happen to jump into their crosshairs. So if there's an
That was nice.
opponent around the corner for me, instead of slide canceling out far past the wall, one smarter option would be to hug the corner with my slide cancel and strafe back into cover while I'm shooting. This gives me peeker's advantage and information on his positioning. So now I can decide to re-challenge, run away and play it up.
It's very
or
smart.
make the push.
I honestly don't do
And
this.
If we go back to that previous
But,
gunfight that I lost,
people
there
who
was
are good
absolutely
definitely do
no
this.
reason for me to bunny hop out into the open. I don't have any cover that I'm jumping to, and I just exposed
Wow,
my entire
this
character's hitbox.
this graphic.
I also slide
This guy's
canceled
going all
directly
out.
toward him for no reason, right as he was peeking, and gave him free shots. I should have played the corner head glitch right here,
Yep.
and I probably would have won the gunfight. Now, there's a
Probably.
million different scenarios
It
like
still
this,
wasn't
but
a great
the point
gun
is, don't
for the fight,
overcommit
but
to a gunfight if you don't
there's a good
have
chance.
to. You always want to keep your options open to reposition if necessary.
Very smart
And
play
you
here.
do that
2-on-1s,
by using
you
the
have to
environment around
reposition.
you to enhance your movement. Now, this insight might seem simple at first, but it honestly took me months of work and thinking about every movement I was doing. asking myself if this movement was necessary or putting me at a disadvantage. And by doing
Oh,
this,
this Gulag's
I was
so
finally back to
ancient.
winning gunfights in these sweatier lobbies.
Goodness.
And I was able to get my KD above 2 on Verdansk before I
pretty
started
good.
to play more Rebirth. So I probably should have been happy with my improvement at this point, but because I'm a weirdo who can't seem to just have fun, I
Weirdo.
wasn't.
He can't have fun. That's me. That's
For
literally
some
me.
reason, it wasn't enough for me to win my one-on-ones or get high-kill games every once in a while. I wanted to be
19's pretty
able
good,
to win
Rebirth.
gunfights when I was being shot in the back and wipe teams in 1v4 situations like the best players. But when I got the opportunity to do so,
I mean, like,
usually panicked and messed something up.
You don't know who they're
Even
playing.
if I did
You know,
get a
like
decent
these guys could be
clip,
playing
my movements
bots.
seemed slow
And they probably
not
are.
that coordinated.
Most streamers at this point, they're playing bots.
I didn't know what to practice to get better, so I tried playing more solo quads and even changing my controller sensitivity. But that didn't really help.
It's
What
not
was
bad
the secret
steps.
to take my movement to the next level?
What is it? My teammates.
It looks like you need another shower.
Well,
He's
I
a
struggled
sweat
with
now.
this question for a while, and then one day I stumbled onto something. I queued into a custom game with a plan to practice peeking corners.
Oh, I remember this part.
This was something I had seen a
He
lot
just
of good
practices
players
on
do during
speedball,
gunfights,
basically the
get
movements.
information on their opponents, but I had never really practiced it.
I'm gonna play the rest, but like I just want to say like real quick, I don't think this is honestly the best advice. Like it's better than nothing, of course, but like I honestly think the best way to practice this stuff is like watch the video, maybe try it a few times in game, but like don't spend all day on speedball, private mat. You know, like maybe like practice strafing, practice bunny hopping, whatever, and then use that like in Warzone or in Rebirth for like 5 games straight, and just like get accustomed to it. You know, like it's one thing doing it in a private match, but then like leaving and completely forgetting about it later, like in a game, it means like it makes no difference, right? Like it served no purpose. So I really think practice one thing at a time. Maybe he says it in the rest of the video, and you'll get better at one thing at a time. So let's keep watching.
And as I was sliding back and forth practicing, I realized that it was actually kind of hard to put 2 slide cancels together. It was difficult to get my centering right, and I kept jumping on accident. But I started practicing this each day,
True.
and it eventually got easier after I realized I needed to watch my gun
It's
go up
honestly
before
not-
I started my next
not the
slide,
easiest thing.
or else I would jump. And one thing led to the next, and I started to wonder, well, how short can I make these slides to go back and forth faster? And when I started to work on this, something in my mind
Hoping no one gets too dizzy watching
I'd
this.
seen Joe do this slide cancel loop a million times, but I had never thought to practice it. And that's where I had messed up. Players with good movement switch directions fast enough to make their enemies miss too many shots. It's no
That's
different than
insane.
an NFL player juking an opponent. You get their momentum going one way, and then you quickly go the other. But because I hadn't actually practiced this, I was changing directions too
It's a good
slowly
analogy.
and often missing the button timings, which left me in bad situations.
Ooh.
And even more than that,
That was
I
a
had
little
never
ugly.
really practiced putting together all of the different movements that I knew, which is why I felt so slow in game.
Putting it together is
and
definitely
that
big.
needed to change. I needed these movement combinations to be in my muscle memory.
Yep.
So to do
It
this,
has to be built
I started
in.
creating movement courses on the speedball map to simulate in-game situations. The idea was similar to the Modern Warfare shooting range, but specifically for movement.
I never went through this
So
shooting
for
range.
example, I would start with a
Interesting.
slide cancel loop here, and then bunny hop the gap to this wall. I would peek each side.
This is theater
slide into
mode,
this
right?
half wall
How's he
and
recording
sneak a
like
few
this?
times. And then I would end with a slide cancel.
Dude, even
and a
like
drop shot
recording something
here
like this
to pretend I
takes
was
so
taking the
much
angle
time and
away
effort.
from
Like
the
this
opponent
video
on the
took
other side
so
of the map.
long, you can tell.
And here's what it looked like from my POV.
Even that transition, like it's so cool watching like a COD YouTuber like actually put in like effort on the videos. Not saying I do, this is a reaction video, but it's cool seeing that. And this video got like 1 million views, like definitely deserved. You know, I really hope this guy like
And then I
blows
would
up.
repeat going back the other way.
Unfortunately, he hasn't really uploaded in quite a while. I don't think he knows what to upload.
And a
He's
little
kind of
later
stuck.
on, when I was comfortable with the movement, I would then start shooting at targets to practice my aim.
But again, his name is Dream Strike. He'll be linked in the description. Hopefully, you know, you guys check him out. Maybe if you haven't
Next
seen this
day,
video,
I would make up a different course.
maybe, I assume you've probably seen the video by now, but if you didn't, you know. Let me know, also, you guys want me to talk more, talk less? You know, let me know all that stuff in the comment section. I think watching this kind of stuff is
So
fun.
after a few months of
Give my
practicing
take
these
on
courses, I
what
would
he's
say I
saying.
finally started to develop good movement. This way of practicing was so effective for me because I was committing these movement combinations to muscle memory,
That was a
and I
good
didn't have
shot.
to think about them in game. They just happened.
Oh my god, he's jumping around so much.
Now, I promised 4 key insights, so here's the last one.
Gotta aim high.
You need to practice at game speed. And lucky for you, I've just the exercise to do this. You want to go back into Speedball with just one bot, and you want to screenshot this loadout. The game settings will be in the description below. And this exercise is simple. You can only shoot after you slide cancel, bunny hop, drop shot, or snake. And this drill's great because it forces you to use more movement than you might be comfortable with. But you still have to use the cover around you to stay alive.
I wonder why he picked this class. Is it because like it takes 3 shots or something, and you have to hit all 3? Maybe you could one-shot headshot with this gun. I don't know. This looks like the MK2, which I think I remember this gun being like complete trash. So there's got to be a reason why he did it. What I wish he talked about is like how to do this on PC, because it seems very controller centric. Which I guess most Warzone people are on controller, but, you know, a PC option would have been cool too. Like, hit CC space or something like that, and hit Z to prone or something. I don't know. And I guess this is the final result.
And
where
that's pretty much how I improved my movement
really
over
good.
the last year and a half.
Oh,
The journey wasn't exactly easy, but I hope that this video encourages you and shows you that it is possible to improve and compete with
Oh
the
my
best
god,
players.
that's pain.
And if
That
you're struggling to
happened.
get better,
What happened there just happens to be like all the time. That's pain. Where people just don't die.
don't get discouraged because you are here.
Better movement.
I promise that if you work
overtime.
on these 4 principles, you'll see insane improvement if you give
Yeah,
it a little bit
I mean
of time.
for sure.
And that's all I have for you guys today.
Good
If
video,
you want
man.
more in-depth movement training, you can
Very
start with
solid
the slide
video.
cancel video right here. As always, thanks for watching.
I really hope this guy blows up. 13-minute video. I really hope, you know, you enjoyed this video. My commentary's on it, and yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe. Definitely subscribe to Dream Strike, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace out.